and it's pretty, we send each other TikToks about all these psychological things, not psychological thrillers. Well, sometimes we do, but psychology related TikToks, and we have these great discussions, and better than like I feel like I could have with anybody. So for one, I was talking to somebody the other day, and I sent them a TikTok of Post Malone, and it was a really sad TikTok. Like, it was him on stage, and it said, you know, when you, oh man, I'm gonna have to look at it. When you do something and you realize nobody cares, or something like that. So like his face was like all happy and excited, and then it just went fucking straight. Like, it fucking was all excitement. Everything just went bloom, gone. So we were discussing it, and she was like, "Oh my God." And I was like, "I know." I said, "I really hope that he has a therapist." I said, "I honestly think that he does." We went back and forth and discussing, and she's like, "Well, if I was his therapist, we would discuss this and this." And I was like, and I know that he's showering now, so he must have a therapist, because, they got him to start showering because he was not showering. And I said, and he looks like he doesn't smell anymore. Like, we went into the depths of like his therapist taking care of him and making sure that he got on the right pathway of where he's showering again, and taking care of himself. And these are the conversations that I have with my people, my colleagues. Anyhow, so this month, I just want people to know that, if you're going through a depression, if you're going through sadness, and those feelings of happiness you're afraid you're never going to feel them again, the feelings of love, or the feelings of anything, the excitement, butterflies, like, they'll eventually come back once you're starting to heal and feeling better. And if they don't, then maybe, talk to somebody. Go, maybe you need medication, or you need a certain routine that'll help you feel better. There's different things that you can do to make yourself feel better, and different herbs. Actually, there's a lot of herbs out there, that are non-addictive, that can help you in the long run as well. So, because I honestly I didn't think that I was ever gonna feel things again, and uh, friends of mine were like, don't let these people take that away from you. And it wasn't that they were taking it away from me. It was that I was overspent. My cup was not filled for myself, and I was just filling it for them. And, that's on my bad, but also, like, there's a lot more to go into it, because I wasn't the only one that was at fault. I was at fault for believing words. I was definitely at fault for that. And so it's just, when you're disappointed and you get hurt, and like, this is the first time in my life that I've ever felt that way. I ever felt that I was not going to come back out of it. I never felt, and it wasn't a feeling of like, I'm going to kill myself. Like, I've had those feelings before, and that was like 5 years ago was the last time I ever felt that way, where I was just like, I just want to be dead. I just want to die. And that scared me, that I was just like done, and was just like ready to check out at any moment. And I'm thankful that I had the people in my life that I did, that sought me out and was like, nope, we're not going to lose you. And, they brought me back and made me see that that was a stupid thing to think. No, it wasn't a stupid thing to think. It was just not the right thing to think. So thankfully that I have these people in my life that point me in the right direction, that I am completely 100 transparent with, like, who know me through and through. And I can honestly say, everybody that I know, like, we know each other front and back. There's not knowing anything about each other. Uh, like, that transparency of a relationship, not being fake, that is beautiful. because I've seen relationships where the person doesn't really even know them. That there's this facade, like they are this person. Well, I guess a lot of it has to do with like fucking mental illness, and people don't uh show themselves all the way off because there's just so much information out there. Like, there's the bipolarness of people who, only show themselves a certain way, or borderline personality disorder, or fucking narcissists, you know? There's all these different diagnoses that people are, so they don't show themselves completely to others because there's a hidden agenda, or they want them to see themselves a certain way, their people to see them a certain way. There's just like so much that goes into it. Um, so sometimes people don't see people for who they really are and only know the surface level. Because, for example, you could say that you're friends with somebody and they're your roommate, and you see them in a different light. Like you lived with them in and out. Like you've had let's say that you fucking live with them for like 2-3 years. So you've seen the good, you've seen the bad, and you know them better than most people do because you're there. Like when you fucking live with somebody and uh you see all sides of them, like how they react to everything and how they treat other people, you know who they are. So that kind of intimacy is what I have with everybody that I know. And I feel like that's kind of not the way most humans are. And I find it strange because, oh my God, my brain just went back to the false uniqueness and all that I learned last week. So I guess that's what it comes down to, you know? And you see people for the truth, you see them for who they are, you see the good, you see the bad, and a lot of the people, their friends that don't see that, see them in a different light and will never see that part of them. So there's people out there that hold them to high regard and be like, oh my God, they're the most amazing person ever. But when in reality, they're really not. You're only seeing a small fraction of them and you don't know the truth. So you only see this part of them, but you can say that you fucking have these great human beings around you, but do you really? And then it comes, like I said, it comes down to like knowing somebody and seeing who they really are. So, oh, that was just some things that were going on in my head. And, you know, it takes a lot to finally get to the point of where you're willing to share yourself again. And for myself, after going through that depression, this was like the worst depression I've ever been through. And I'm like I've been through shit and I've been through things, and like even the not wanting to kill myself, this was the worst of it. And just the disappointment, the being let down, the promises, like that whole thing took a lot out of me as someone who believes in honesty and love. So I was duped. And see, like everybody was like, you'll see the light. And I didn't never think that I was going to see the light. I honestly didn't think I was going to see the light. And I do see the light. And it took almost a year, because I'm still going through it. Um, and I'm getting the help that I need with the discussions that I'm having with the people that I have, thankfully, therapy that I have. Because if you're fucked in the head, if you're not well, if you're not doing good, and that was from a Taylor Swift song. So they say she's fucked in the head. Um, then you need to get help. There's people that I know that are of age of, how old is he? 50 something. And he didn't get help for something that happened to him when, like, 20 fucking, jeez, how long ago is this? 23 years ago. He didn't get the help for something that happened to him. It was a big thing that happened to him. He didn't get the help until, I would say, 3 years ago. And so he had all of that time taken where he wasn't able to live because that thing happened to him and he wasn't living the way that he should and he didn't know how to deal with it. So then one thing after another kept happening to him and so he didn't know how to deal with it and he just kept pushing it down and pushing it down. And now in his 50s, he's learning how to deal with it. So with most of these things that I discuss a lot is like you really need the tools. So there's, that's the thing about psychology and therapy and all of these things. Like you can get a diagnosis and it's not the fucking end all of everything. You just need to learn how to um, deal with certain situations and you need those tools to survive. So when you are an individual that doesn't have those tools and you keep living the same life over and over again and you keep doing the same things over and over again to people, or you keep having this reaction to people or doing, unhealthy habits, could be drinking, it could be drugs, it could be sex, it could be using people, it could be so many different things. And that is the way that you deal with the certain things in your life instead of having the right tools to fix the things. Because as who I am, for the longest time, I did self-medicate myself because I didn't know that I had ADD. I didn't know that I had PMDD. I didn't know that I had fibromyalgia. Like my body hurt all the time. I was having all these symptoms and I didn't have these tools to fucking make myself a better human being or have myself to fucking navigate these situations that I got into. Especially starting at a young age of, oh, I don't know how to deal with this rejection from, this job or this person, so I would drink it away. And that did not work. I didn't have the tools. I didn't know. And as somebody now in their 40s that has fucking learned and is fucking getting better and is getting these tools to fucking be better as a human, it's better now than late than never, right? And knowing that I can't self-medicate myself with alcohol just to numb out everything, especially now that I know that I have inattentive ADD, I know that I have fibromyalgia. I finally was diagnosed with PMDD almost 10 years ago. And, alcohol did not make any of these things better. Alcohol is a depressant. It makes you fucking worse. Yeah, sure, sometimes it's a little bit it's fun, but it doesn't make it better. You're just not self-diagnosing. You're self-medicating yourself with drugs, alcohol, and nothing's getting right. Or with food even. So, having these feelings that I had last weekend, knowing that I am able to still have these feelings, changed a lot of things going on. Yes, it's going slowly. Yeah, but I know that I am getting better. And I know that all the things that I'm doing to make myself feel better without uh without drinking myself to a stupor. Yes, like I said in the last podcast that I got shit-faced a couple weeks ago. And I got a little buzz this weekend with my sister, but I'm not using it as to, oh shit, I'm feeling these feelings. I need to not feel these feelings. And then I fucking drank. So now that I am